Tell me just a bit about, you mentioned about that you have to let go of most of your stuff, because that's something truly difficult for most people. You accumulated everything you had to some point. So if you had to make a list, you could argument the fact that every single thing you had has some use, it was useful, you want to have it, you want to throw it away. How do you make that decision and say like, what do I throw away? What do I sell? What do I keep?
Wow. Okay. That's a great question. And you're right. That is something that I do notice a lot of people struggling with, particularly the people who have a full house and decide they want to sell it.
Let me tell you a fun fact about the podcast. We're at the beginning process and you can have a tremendous influence over our channel. By just liking and subscribing to our channel, you'll help us increase the quality of the videos that we're creating. Also, you'll stay in the loop with the new videos which are coming every week. Thank you and enjoy the episode.
To pursue a nomadic lifestyle, which I think is really brave and awesome, by the way. But yeah, for me personally, things never really held that much value. I've always been a traveler. I've always been one of those people who believes experience over things. So even the things that I did have at the time that I loved the most, such as a car that I worked really hard to pay off right away and keep beautiful, my bicycles, I'm a hardcore cyclist. I had accumulated bikes I was proud of, and I had built them and spent a lot of money on them and maintained them lovingly. It was really hard to watch somebody come and test drive my bike that was going to take it out of my life. But there were very few things that I had that I was going to break up with, like my partner. Those things were really hard to let go of, absolutely. But once they're gone, you can't take them back. So there are really in my life very few things that I have held on to. Those are mostly clothes and paperwork that I actually need to prove I'm a human, as well as a few mementos from people that I've loved in my life that have passed away. But other than that, I actually have very few things. Right now, you can see I'm in a garage. This is my family home. I'm home visiting. I have 2 vacuum bags upstairs of clothes, a little bit of paperwork, and just the 2 backpacks that I actually travel with full time. So I do have very few things. And for me, yeah, it really has always been less is more. Become less with more is a mantra that I live by. And I just am not a person who needs things. But for somebody like some of my friends, when I think about all the stuff that they really have, if they were to take on a nomadic lifestyle, I don't see them letting go of their things. I see them investing money to save their things. Yeah, I see them paying for a storage locker or keeping their house some way with their things in it. But yeah, for me, it was really about getting rid of stuff that was really just weighing me down. I can't even remember all the junk that I got rid of, but at the time when I bought it, when I first bought it and was accumulating that stuff, it seemed so important to me in that moment.
Absolutely. That's super interesting. And also, once you start traveling without many things, you realize how little you actually need. And I had a very interesting experience when I moved to London, because the Czech language is very expensive at the time. I packed everything that was really, really important to me to have in London. And I told my parents, like, listen, right away when I arrived there, send you your address, ship those to me. So what happens when I arrived in London, it took me about 3 months to find a stable place, because I was just living on friends' couches and so on and so forth. So until I got to a place where I could have them delivered, it took me a while. And when I got them delivered, I realized that, I lived 3 months without all my so-called important things. So like that means that they are not truly important, just like stuff that I carry around with me so I can feel, secure. But at the end of the day, once you kind of learn to let go and then realize how little you actually need, then it's much easier to let go of things.
I have a question for you, actually. Is there anything that you've let go of that you miss?
That's a good question, because I was thinking about that specifically. So when I moved from London last year, I had a truly amazing 4K screen, which is really big. And I really love that one because I'm a filmmaker and I like to have like very high definition graphics and really good colors for it. So it's one of the things that couldn't make the cut, because I just wanted to have like a backpack and small luggage with me, and I had to sell it. It was kind of like, didn't have an emotional attachment to it, but it was really good quality. That's something I was truly close to me.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, if you had it in your life today, would your life be different? Would you be making more film?
Not necessarily. It's just like it wouldn't impact my life that big. It's just like one thing that I actually like. But and then I realized that you can just go anywhere and buy something else. So